It's week 9 of the LCS with coverage brought to you by Alien, where I'm joined right now by Akaadian from Team Dignitas after their big victory against TSM, which ultimately meant nothing, I believe. Yes? I mean, I think you guys everything was already basically figured out before that game, yeah?
Yeah, it was all figured out, but now we have our record looks a little better. We have one more win than loss, so
Yeah, well, I
that's
guess
huge.
looking at the positives, quite literally, in that situation.
Yeah,
So, okay, you guys are going to be playing against the third place team. We don't know which team that is yet. Do you have any guesses as to who it'll be?
probably EG, I think. Yeah, EG.
Yeah, feels
If
likely
I had to
based
guess.
off of. Yeah, feels likely based off of that. I'm trying to remember. You on these final days, you always end up doing all this math in your head to try to figure everything out. So how do you feel about facing? Let's say it is EG. How do you feel about facing EG going into this coming weekend?
Hmm. Well, based on the last couple weeks of play, it seemed like EG and TSM were the strongest teams. Like they were playing the best together and had the best read on the meta. So I don't know. I mean, it should be fun. I think EG's like a fun team to play against. I mean, last time we played them, we got absolutely murdered. Um, I mean, we just had some big issues, and I think both our draft and in play, and at like 8 minutes already, the game was over. But I think for our team going into playoffs, like when I think about the other teams in the league, I feel like it doesn't actually matter that much who we're playing against. Like, there's no team like in previous years, I'd be on other teams, right? And I'd
Yeah,
think like, yeah, if we play versus this team, there's like we're just gonna get clapped, like there's no way we can win. There was like certain teams where I just thought the chance of us losing or winning was like so low that was like really hard. But I think this year on this team that I'm on right now, I feel like it's more up to how our draft goes and how like how we play in the game is way more important than the opponent we're playing against, because I think our ceiling for how well we can play and how just how well we can play is very high. So as long as we get a good draft and a good game for ourselves, I think we can beat anyone, like literally any of the teams in the whole league. So
well, and you just demonstrated that by beating TSM, despite how great they've looked recently. But also to that point, though, do you feel like I don't know, maybe the floor is more open as well? Because you mentioned like there's always been that one team where if you face them, it's going to be a big issue. There's no team that's like that right now. So it's not just that Dig is in a great place. I assume it's also just the fact that like we don't have like a standout team right now who seems so far ahead of the pack. Yeah.
I mean, you could look at different weeks and say that certain team, like there was definitely a couple of weeks where it looked like 100 Thieves were ahead of the pack. I think they were ahead of the meta. Certainly, they were really big on like Diana before it was strong, playing the AD solos before that whole meta came in earlier in summer. So I think they were definitely ahead of the pack, and then recently it's looked more like TSMEG were a little bit ahead of the pack, but definitely no, there's not like a one team thing where it's like, yeah, this team is just so much better than everyone else all the time. Besides, I mean, I guess EG just had like I mean, they have like a crazy win streak.
Yeah, they
They
had
won
one
like
for a while. It was like eight or
had like
nine games or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
they won a lot of games in a row. So I mean, they look good, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's just the nature of League of Legends right now, just the way it works. Like, not enough vision. You need to fight for objectives, so you can randomly get like engaged on out of a bush. The game can flip. Like, I think that's a big reason why it does feel like a lot of teams can beat a lot of other teams. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think there's just a lot of teams that have been working really hard, and there's a lot of good competition in LCS right now. It feels like yeah, there's just a lot of teams that know their style and play to it and just play well a lot of the time. So
Whenever I think our last interview was, it was right after you had joined the team, coming in for Dardoch.
mhm.
What has your journey been like with the team since then, especially now as we're closing out the regular season?
um, honestly, it's been a lot of fun for me. Uh, I before this year started, I kind of like changed some stuff about my approach to how I practice and like how I think about the game and stuff, and I tried it out while I was on Academy. Um, and I was able to put it in but when I was doing it on Academy, I was always telling myself like I can't really know because like the level of competition here is just lower in Academy, so I can't tell if it's actually working or if it's going to be fine. And then yeah, I came back to LCS, and like now I'm back at the level of competition that I had before. It's like the same level of stress as before, and it's just been fun for me, like realizing that the things that I changed are working for me, and like it's just been good. There's just been a lot of fun, honestly. LCS is just so much more exciting to play than playing at Academy. I think the level of play is better, and there's more people that care about it. Playing on stage has been great. Like literally the first time that I went back on stage, like even though the fans weren't there, it was like just the whole vibe, like the feeling. It was like, wow, yeah, this is so much better than like just playing online last year. Like for a while with COVID, it was just really it's hard to feel like it's important, like what I'm doing when you're just playing from your bedroom, literally, right? Like you're playing LCS games from your bedroom is just it's hard to feel like it's worthwhile, pretty much. But um, I mean, I'm personally just enjoying it. I'm really hoping that we can go far in playoffs and maybe go to a stage with fans again. That would be really, really awesome. Um, I just really miss the fans, honestly. Just fans in the stages and fans in the crowd and stuff is just like I feel like that's what makes League so fun. So
Has it been? You mentioned it's so great to play on stage, but obviously for the past 2 weeks you've had to play remotely. Has that impacted you at all?
I try to keep my like baseline pretty consistent with how I approach my games and the level of pressure that I put on the game and it. So I wouldn't say it's changed too much for me. I feel pretty similar between stage and playing at the office, but definitely a little better, I would say, for like some of the members of our team are just under less pressure when they're just playing in the office still. So I think that's definitely a factor. Like not having to play on stage and not having the white noise and that
Yeah.
extra pressure is buff and nerf to some teams, I think. So
I mean,
yeah,
the only reason I asked is because you had talked about how great it was to be back on stage, and then unfortunately, then for these past 2 weeks, you ended up playing remote. So I didn't know if you're just like,
yeah,
damn it, now we're back here again.
yeah. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but it's like if we have to do it, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not really like an authority on this. The only thing for me is like I feel like almost everyone has been vaccinated in the LCS, like literally almost everyone. I know
yeah.
my whole team has, so I guess we're just trying to not spread it to like others, I guess. But yeah, it's I don't know. Just it does kind of suck. I miss playing on stage. It's way more fun. Feels way more rewarding to win
Yeah.
when you
Well,
just go there.
hopefully we get to LCS finals, and then you get to play in front of the audience as you mentioned. How difficult of a path do you think that's going to be for Dig? Because obviously there's a lot of talk about as you said TSMEG, Hunter T, etc. How tough of a path do you think it is for your team to get to I don't know top three?
Um, honestly, I think some teams are harder stylistically for us to play against than others, but I think I mean it's going to be a hard path no matter what. Like whoever's going to go to the top, whatever. It's never just easy to just win LCS. Like when it's competitive like it is right now, it's not like one team is just going to slap everyone and just have an easy go of it, right? You have to really come together and work well together, and especially in like the best of fives that are coming up, it requires everyone to like I don't know, not tilt, just come together as like a family pretty much and just try to push forward to win and keep solving problems as they come. Whatever comes up in the draft or comes up in the game, just have like a problem solving mindset and like we're gonna move forward past this, like whatever happens, like basically just not I think not tilting is really important and just trying to work together and just be a team, I guess. I think that's really what it comes down to with a lot of the teams that do end up winning. They just really play together. They really come together to help each other win.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fair assessment of the situation. Is there anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Um, yeah, just thanks for supporting Dignitas. I've seen a lot of kind words about Dignitas. It seems like, I mean, it was really negative. I think when Yusui came in, and then when I replaced Dardoch, there was so much like community criticism. Even though I try not to like look at Reddit or Twitter, it's hard to like never see it ever.
Yeah,
But I mean, there was definitely like a lot of doubters and like a lot of haters when the move first switched. But I've seen a ton of like just super positive people about Dignitas, and it's fun to watch us play again, which I really love to see that comment in particular. Just it's fun to watch our games. I love that. Um, and yeah, just thanks for supporting me and my teammates and all the kind words that anyone says. And fuck the haters.
fair enough. Thank you so much for the interview. Really appreciate it. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. Playoffs are coming. Oh my gosh. Playoffs are coming. I am so excited for this, and I hope you are too, because it's when we get to see the just maximum levels of competition in the LCS and these best of fives. And you know what else allows for maximum competition? You playing on an Alienware setup, get an Alienware notebook, desktop, monitor, maybe some of their accessories. Alienware.com/Travis. There's a link in the description below, and there's a code that you can use. And they've lifted some of the restrictions that unfortunately were on that code for a little bit, so you should be able to apply it to even more systems and setups now. So go do that. Check out the code. And then while we're talking about competition, compete against the other people that watch this video by subscribing to the channel. Those names are scrolling across the bottom of the screen if everything went well. Bye.